Gosh, that thing's heavy. Howdy everybody, thanks for tuning in to the Tall Man Disc Golf YouTube channel. It's been a while. Hello again. Long time no see, or first time good to see you, I guess. But yeah, now that it's more the winter again, I've got some more time to actually go sit down and make some videos and update the channel a little bit again, like I was doing last winter. And I thought, what better way to do that than by doing a in the bag video of what discs I've been using in my bag setup that I've been using for the 2021 season. So yeah, let's just jump right into it. This is my grip bag. I got this probably halfway through the year. It's actually the third bag I used this season. I was using this Upper Park bag before that. Really like the Upper Park bag too. Just been kind of going back and forth and testing them both out, trying to figure out which one I want to stick with for longer term. Obviously I've got both of them, so I can switch them out whenever, but yeah, liking the grip bag. I'll do a review of them both sometime in the future here. But yeah, that's not this video, that's some other video. Let's just start with my putters. So I used these Fierces for most of this season, and this is a disc. This putter took me a while. If you've seen my Instagram, which by the way you should follow me on Instagram at TallmanDG, you'll know I posted a little bit a while ago about just trying to find the right putter for me and what that looked like. So these Fierces were what I ended up really liking and used them all season. These ones are my practice putters, so they're a little beat up. My puppy likes to claw at them when I miss, so I miss a lot when I'm practicing, but so that's why they're a little beat up. But yeah, those I use those basically for all kinds of putts. They're really glidey, so they go really far when you need them to. I'm not a good outside the circle putter, but I use those for anytime I'm putting, basically. This disc kind of has some sentimental value. This was the first Fierce I ever bought. I have a whole stack of them now. But yeah, this was the first Fierce I ever bought. It's been in my bag for every tournament I've ever played, as I'm dropping it on the ground. Every tournament I've ever played. I don't know if the camera will pick it up or not, but it's very, very, very beat now, so it's pretty understable, and I don't putt with it during tournament rounds very often unless I really need something really flippy. But yeah, I just keep it in the bag right here just for sentimental reasons, you know. It's just, I like it, hanging on to it. Getting into the meat of the bag, let's start with some putt and approach discs here. I've got my Berg. This is, wow, it's muddy. I need to clean these off before I do these videos. But yeah, this is pretty much my go-to approach disc when I just need something dead straight for, you know, 100 feet or less to the basket. This is a K1 soft Berg, so it's nice and bendy. Really grippy plastic too, which I like a lot. Doesn't really beat in either. Hasn't gotten too flippy on me, so this will be staying in my bag. I've got a couple backups of it too, but this disc, yeah, love the Berg. Can't go wrong with the Berg. And you'll kind of see as I'm going through this for each like different category of discs. So putt and approach, mid-range, fairway, and then distance driver. I try and do like a understable, neutral, overstable disc for each category. The Berg is a little outlier. It's just kind of its own thing. But for our understable putt and approach, you're loving the Fierce. Again, I putt with these. The Tour series is just fantastic for a throwing putter. Very, very straight. Absolutely love the Fierce. Challenger SS. This is my kind of neutral. If I don't want to throw the Berg, I'll probably throw this disc. It's got a little bit of fade, nothing too crazy though. But yeah, very straight. I love the swirl on there and the stamp. Big Missy Gannon fan, so that's cool that OTB did the Missy Gannon run of these ESP Challenger SS's for her. I really like that. Where's my zone? These are a little out of order here. Overstable putting approach, gotta have a zone in the bag, obviously. This is a Crystal Flex zone, and this is really beat in, beat up, I should say. It's not really beat in, hard to beat in Crystal Flex plastic, but yeah, you can tell I use this disc a lot anytime I need a forehand shot, whether that's an approach or just off the tee. Really, this is the disc I feel most comfortable throwing with my forehand. I don't have a very good sidearm at all, so if I have to throw a sidearm, it'll probably be with this disc, no matter how far it is. Moving on to the mid-ranges, understable mid, I've got a Soul, and I actually have two of these in here. Oops. I've got just a regular Z Soul that's been in my bag for a little bit longer, and it's a little bit more flippy just because I've had more time to throw it and beat it in a little bit. And then I've also got this cool Crystal, I think it's just Crystal. It might be Crystal Flex, I don't remember. I think it's just Crystal though, but another Soul. And this one is a little bit more overstable, but it's still flippy because it's an understable mid-range. And this one is almost laser beam straight, so I absolutely love this. I will probably be taking the Z Soul out of my bag for next year just to make some space for some other discs. And since these are very, very similar shots and shapes when they're in the air, so I don't feel like I need both of them for next year. But buzz, gotta have a buzz. Everybody, I feel like everybody that plays disc golf has a buzz in their bag. This one is a 2020 Tour Series buzz, that nice kind of swirly Z plastic. It's really, really pretty. Yeah, nice. I mean, it's a buzz, what else can you say? I feel like these Tour Series Z ones are a little bit more overstable than like an ESP or other different kinds of plastic runs of buzzes. And I like that, you know, I don't want this to flip on me. I want it to just kind of hold straight with a nice little tiny little baby fade at the end. And that's what this is perfect for. For my overstable mid-range, I've got a Malta, just the ESP. I don't think they've made these in any other plastic yet. No, I take that back. There's Big Z Maltas now, but I don't have one, haven't tried one. But yeah, this is just my nice, if you look at the flight numbers, it makes it seem like it's a super overstable disc, but this is really just a nice gentle fade at the end, very reliable even in like headwind. If I need like a backhand approach disc, I'll usually throw this instead of my zone backhand. This Malta just feels a little bit more comfortable in my hand than a zone does. But it's the reverse for forehand. The zone feels way better forehand than the Malta does. So just kind of a little back and forth there. But yeah, I really like the Malta. One of the more thrown discs in my bag. This is one of the newer discs that I've been throwing. I actually haven't even used this in any tournament rounds this year, partly because it's so new. And yeah, I've just kind of been testing it out, but this will definitely be in the bag for next year as well. This is the Paige Pierce Passion. This is the Proto Passion. I've got a handful of the first run Passions too, and just really, really like them. It feels like a longer buzz, a longer, slightly more flippy buzz, honestly. It feels kind of a unique shot shape in my bag because it'll stay flat and have a very, very, very gentle fade to the right, but it won't like turn and burn to the right, like some of my more understable distance drivers and fairway drivers, like we'll get to in a minute here. So yeah, this disc, it's my go-to anytime I need like a fairway driver length shot, excuse me, that fades gently to the right instead of dumps to the right. But yeah, love the Passion. I'm gonna be testing out, I just got the first run Passions. Yeah, I'm gonna be testing them out all winter whenever I can. So looking forward to that. Let's see. Understable fairway drivers now. These are two Discraft Heats. I've got one in the Ledgestone Z Swirl Tour Series from this year's Ledgestone drop. And then I've got a ESP Heat. Fun fact, this ESP Heat was actually the closest disc that's ever gotten to an ace in my bag. Threw it in a tournament round and it hit dead center chains, hit right in the pole and just spit out. I was devastated. But I keep it in the bag just for good luck. Because it's gonna happen someday, right? But yeah, this one is definitely the more flippy of the two. I actually lost this one in a lake. My first ever league night round that I ever played, on the first hole, I threw this as my first drive of the day and it just went straight into the water. And yeah, I lost it for a good couple months until somebody found this, and very nice of them, they gave it back to me. So really glad to have that in the bag. And this is just the more overstable one. It's still a heat, so it'll still flip up to flat and then keep flipping and eventually turn and burn if I throw it into any kind of headwind or anything like that. But really love the heat for, you know, nice hyzer flip, turnover shots, anything like that. This is just a gem. Now to probably my favorite disc of all time. I've got only 3 of them in here right now. That kind of has fluctuated a little bit over the season, but the Discraft Undertaker is by far my most thrown disc in my bag outside of putters. And yeah, I just love the Undertaker. This is probably my flippiest one right now. It's just an ESP Undertaker. Got kind of a little bit more beat in. This plastic is a little bit less durable than the other plastics that I throw. But love this one for if I need a shot that's just gonna hold dead straight. This is the disc I'm going for. Really controllable distance, and yeah, I just love the Undertaker so much. This one coming into this year, this was probably my most thrown Undertaker. This is the 2020 Tour Series Missy Gannon Undertaker. It's that nice kind of swirly Z plastic that's got really good durability, but also has some pretty good grip to it too, which I really like. Missy Gannon, obviously, I think I've mentioned before, my favorite player, so it's cool to support her. But yeah, and the stamp is just kind of cool. It's faded now because I've thrown it so much. And then finally, I've got the 2021 Tour Series Missy Gannon Undertaker. This is that metallic Z plastic, and this is my most overstable Undertaker that I have in my bag right now. Partly because it's so new, and also partly because of the plastic. It's just that more slick and just overstable plastic in general. But yeah, anytime, like if there's like a minor headwind and I still need something to hold straight, this will be the one that I grab most of the time. Overstable fairways. I don't usually bag more than 2 of these, and they're always Raptors. This is my ESP Raptor that I've got. This has been in the bag for a long time, and it's actually starting to get pretty beat up. There's some pretty good gashes on the side. I hit a lot of trees. But yeah, this is still very reliable, solid fade left at the end of a backhand throw. I don't really throw forehand, but if for some reason I needed a forehand shot, then I wasn't comfortable throwing my zone, this would probably be the disc that I use for it. Just yeah, that nice, reliable, overstable fade at the end of the flight. So yeah, the ESP is a little bit less understable than my Z1 that I have, but they're obviously both Raptors, so they're both going to finish to the left. This one is just kind of my water carry disc. If I've got a shot that goes over a river or a lake that I'm nervous about, maybe not making it over, or like just not sure of my shot placement, this is usually the disc that I'll throw. Haven't lost it yet, but there've been a few times I was close. Yeah, it's just I've got a few extra Z Raptors laying around. They're not too hard to replace compared to some of the other discs in my bag. So this is usually my go-to water carry disc. And nice and overstable still. Yeah, that's my fairways. So we'll move on to distance drivers now. And I only carry 3 distance drivers total. The fairway drivers are my go-to when I need to throw a tee shot. I usually don't reach for a fairway driver unless I've got like a wide open fairway, or like a very specific shot shape that I'm trying to hit, that requires one of these 3 discs. Just because I'm more comfortable with the 9 speeds. Like I said, I feel pretty confident in being able to shape a line with an Undertaker compared to a Zeus or some other distance driver. But yeah, let's just get into these. This is my Hades understable bomber. This is the disc I can hit 450 with this pretty reliably. Even pushing further past that if there's a nice tailwind. It's super lightweight though. This is a 167 gram Hades. So this might actually be getting swapped out for a Scorch, ESP Scorch, next year, just because it's been really hard to find lightweight Hades lately. And this is actually the only one that I have that's not max weight. So I'm always terrified of losing this when I throw it. But yeah, this is by far the furthest flying disc in my bag. Absolutely love the Hades for any kind of wide open distance shot. Very similar to the Heat, it'll flip up to flat and then keep going to the right if you let it. In any kind of headwind, I probably won't throw this unless I'm putting it on like a massive hyzer. But yeah, love this disc. Neutral fairway, I've got a Zeus. This one is a pretty recent acquisition to the bag. I had a max weight Zeus for a while, but same thing as with the Hades, I try and find lighter weight distance drivers when I can. Just easier to get them up to my arm speed, up to the 12 speed that they need. Yeah, I really like the Zeus. This is probably my least thrown distance driver, just because usually if I'm going for a straight shot, I will reach for one of my Undertakers. I just don't have a lot of courses that really call for the shot shapes that this provides, but it's nice to have in the bag just in case. And it doesn't take up too much space in my bag anyways. So yeah, this is another 167 gram distance driver at lighter weight, so harder to find, unfortunately, right now. Maybe we'll get some more of those coming out in the near future. But last disc in my bag is the Kastaplast Rask, and this is probably the ugliest disc in my bag. I dyed this one myself when I first started getting into disc dyeing. I think my disc dyeing skills have gotten better since I did this one, but you can tell it's really faded. I did like a shaving cream dye on this, and then I tried to cover it up with a glue bed dye, but it just added to the mess. But yeah, this is a Rask, so it's a 14 speed, very overstable driver. I do not throw this disc unless I'm throwing into a massive headwind, or if I really need a shot that's gonna go maybe 100 feet or 200 feet straight and then just hook like almost dead left immediately. This one is actually getting a little bit beat in, so I've got a new K1 on the shelf waiting to replace it when this starts to get too flippy. But flippy for this disc is like not at all flippy compared to any other disc. Really the only thing that's more overstable than this would be a tilt. But yeah, this is, I mean, it's got the get out of jail free stamp on there, and that's really what it is. Like if I've got some weird shot, I have to throw around like a tree, this is probably going to be the one that I go for. But yeah, so that's my distance drivers. That's everything in my bag. Right now, the side pockets of this are pretty empty. I've got, let's see, just a whale sack. In this side pocket, I usually will put like a rain jacket in here, some other stuff depending on the weather. I'll throw some gloves in there, some hand warmers, that kind of stuff. This top zipper pocket, I will keep my phone, my wallet, keys, all that good stuff up there. And then on this side is kind of just usually whatever else. If I have like a sweatshirt, I might throw it in here. I think down here at the bottom, what have we got? Caddy book for a tournament I played this year. And then we've also got my golf ball. I just, anytime I get a disc stuck up in a tree, this was my go-to before I got my disc retriever. And this is still kind of handy to have in case like I get a disc stuck way up in a tree where the disc retriever can't reach it or something like that. So yeah, just keep that in there. And then speaking of disc retrievers, I just got this pretty recently. Oops, can't get it out. There we go. But this is already paid for itself. It's the, I don't know if it's gonna focus or not, but the Quick Stick XL, the InZone Quick Stick XL disc retriever. This thing, it's one of those telescoping. It's gonna keep going and going and going, but yeah, so it can reach super far up into a tree or into a body of water. And it really, I was pleasantly surprised. It just fits right into the like umbrella holder spot in my bag. So I've just been keeping it there. And yeah, it's already paid for itself. I've retrieved, oh gosh, 4 or 5 discs in like the first month that I've had it. Some mine, some my wife's, some of just some buddies that I've played with. So yeah, really, really nice. Glad I made the purchase on that. But yeah, got the Jomas Pro patch up there, represent. And then of course Lego Yoda. This guy's been on every disc golf bag I've ever had, starting with my that infinite disc sling bag, and then I had the Trooper, and then the Upper Park bag, and now this one. Yeah, just a reminder to anchor is the way to the dark side. But let's see. Ooh, so I wanted to do some honorable mentions here. Just gonna go through. This is where I keep some of my backup discs right now. This is that max weight Zeus I was talking about. This was in my bag for a long time. If I ever lose that lightweight Zeus, this will probably go right back in. It's beat in a little bit to where I'm kind of comfortable with it. I know the shots that it can give me. So that's an honorable mention, number 1. Number 2 is this Ezra Roach. These were from OTB earlier this year. But this is what I was throwing before it got replaced by the Missy Gannon Challenger SS for that kind of neutral putt and approach shot. Yeah, these are just harder to replace. If I would lose this, I've only got 1 backup, and these were like a limited OTB run, so that I don't think they're gonna make any more. Whereas the Challenger SS I've got multiple of, and it's a Challenger SS in a more common plastic. So I feel a little bit less nervous about losing it than I would this one. But yeah, that Crystal Flex Roach is really, really good disc. Some more putters, more of my Fierces that I like. These are pink to go along with the pink color scheme in my bag again. Just try and keep them fresh, try and cycle them out when they start getting too beat. let's see, what else do I have in here? My force, I actually dyed this one myself too. For a little while I was testing this out to see if I could replace the Rask with it. And I think this Rask has a little bit more of an edge in the overstability department than the force does. But I'm gonna be testing this one out again for the 2022 season, just to see, like, do I really need how overstable this is, or does the force work for what I'm looking for, kind of thing. Plus the dye work is way better than the Rask dye work, so. And then we got another zone. This is a new zone to replace my pretty beat up one. I don't cycle my zones too much, and especially in this Crystal Flex plastic, but just a backup in case I need it. And then I've got another Paige Pierce Tour Series Fierce. I always struggle to say that for some reason, but yeah, just a backup of that. I throw these a lot for my approach shots, so good to have a backup of those. But yeah, that is my bag, or was my bag for the 2021 season, I suppose. Honestly, I'm kind of making this video for my own personal reference to kind of see, you know, as I hopefully improve my disc golf abilities, kind of what shots I prioritize in my bag and what discs kind of move in and out of my bag as I get better as a player. So it'll be cool to look back at this next year when I'm making the 2022 video and just kind of see what changed and what stayed the same. But yeah, if you guys like this kind of stuff, let me know. I'm gonna try and, like I said, now that the channel, now that it's winter, I'll have more time to update the channel. So hopefully semi-regularly you can kind of expect some more of this kind of video coming out. I've got some disc dyeing stuff that I'll probably start working on too, making some videos of that. If you're not already following my Instagram, it's @tallman_DG. You can go follow me on there. I post pretty regularly on there, more regularly than my YouTube anyway. So yeah, thanks for tuning in. Hope you liked it. Hope it was at least not a complete waste of your time. And yeah, see you in the next one. Peace.